is Mother's Day, and I'm going to be driving from my mom's house in Indianapolis to my mother-in-law's house in Chicago. So that explains this outfit, which is not very truck-worthy, and it also explains the point of this video. Because I'm going to be driving about 200 miles, I figured I would take this opportunity to do a little bit of a road test as well as a range test, and we'll see how comfortable things are in this vehicle. My name is Jill Cimillo with Pickup Truck Plus SUV Talk. Let's take a closer look at the 2024 Toyota Tacoma right now. All right, I have just finished lunch with my mom at Sam's Restaurant in Fishers, Indiana, and I am full of fuel, so I have 274 miles of range. And you can see my current average is 18.9 miles per gallon. You know, we can come over here to this trip information on here, 270 miles of range. And you look at the history and we have 18.8 miles per gallon. So most of my driving from here to Chicago is going to be on the highway. There will be a little bit of city driving, you know, once I get to the city, obviously, but I'm gonna clear the data. We'll go okay, and we're gonna start over, and we're gonna see what my fuel economy is from here to Chicago with mostly highway driving. And I'll be honest with you, I'm not gonna go under the speed limit. I'm going to go between 70 and 80 miles per hour because the speed limit is 70. So let's see what happens. All right, I am about halfway through my trip. I've driven an hour and a half. I have an hour and a half to go. You know, I've driven about 96 miles, and yeah, so we're about halfway there, and I just wanted to do a little bit of a check-in because I am at about 18.7 miles per gallon. And again, I've been driving at highway speeds. I-65 from Indianapolis to Chicago is a 70 mile per hour speed limit. So I've been going between 70 and 80. So nothing too aggressive, but definitely not 55 miles an hour, which is what the EPA uses to rate fuel economy. So I'm at about just went down to 18.6 right now. So what else do I want to say? You know, I want to talk a little bit about some of the things going on and give you some driving impressions, because, you know, when Tim and I did our first drive review, you literally only spend about an hour or 2 hours behind the wheel, or you're doing some off-roading, you're doing some other things, so you're in and out of the vehicle. I drove 3 hours to Indianapolis yesterday, and now I'm, you know, going 3 hours on the way home, and my butt hurts a little bit. I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm going to be honest. These seats are not super comfortable, and this is, you've got the up-level leather seats, but they're a little bit firm. And you know, I'm at about an hour and a half, and I'm feeling it, and I definitely felt it a lot at the 3 hour point, and I got out and I just, you know, needed to shake around a little bit. Shake your booty. Yeah, nobody needs to hear me sing. But, so that is a little bit unfortunate. These seats are just not that comfortable. And maybe it's because of my thin frame, but, and I will say they're not as uncomfortable as General Motors seats, and they're not as uncomfortable as Honda seats, but they're edging towards not super comfortable. Something else I really want to talk about is something that I've given Toyota and a lot of manufacturers a hard time for, and that is their wireless charging. Now, I had my phone in the wireless charger for 3 hours yesterday charging, didn't overheat my phone, and it kept operating, you know, Apple CarPlay wirelessly, and it did really well. And so I've had my phone in the charger for an hour and a half now, still not overheating. So not something that you can tell during a first drive test, because you're in and out of the vehicle, you're picking up your phone, you're putting it back, you're not leaving it in the charger for a long period of time. But 3 hours, my phone did not overheat. So I can finally give Toyota a thumbs up, and that is in addition to the fact that, you know, there's like little grippy things on the pad, as well as the fact that there is, you know, a little thing to keep it from tipping to the side. So overall, wireless charging, finally well done in a Toyota vehicle. What else do I want to say? the large screen is really helpful. I've got my Waze on here, and you know, it fills out the whole screen. I've been having fun asking Toyota, let me see if I can spell and drive at the same time. Toyota, there you go, to tell me a joke. And I'm not saying it out, because if I say it, then it'll be like, how may I help you? And it'll interrupt my video. So we're not going to do that. But at any rate, the voice activation works really well. And I've been using the cruise control, the adaptive cruise control, and that also works really well. It is a hands-on system, so there's no highway drive assist or hands-free option on this, not even at lower speeds. So we've seen some Lexus vehicles that, and some Toyota vehicles that have the traffic jam assist, that under 25 miles an hour, it'll let you take your hands off. This is not that vehicle. There's no camera watching my eyes, but it will sense after a while, like if you take your hands off the wheel, it will sense your hands aren't on the wheel, and it'll tell you to put them back on. But overall, I thought this adaptive cruise control system is really, really great. So I'm coming up on a truck right now, and it doesn't like speed up to the back of the truck and then slam on the brakes. It has a sensor, and it really senses far out that there's a vehicle, and it just kind of starts slowing down moderately so that it doesn't slam on the brakes. So this is not a herky-jerky system. This is actually a system that works really well, and it's fairly intuitive, because like if somebody pulled in front of me, I mean, obviously I'm going to tap the brakes a little bit to slow down and not, ram into the back of the vehicle. So the adaptive cruise control also gets a huge thumbs up from me. I will say, in the now 4.5 hours that I've been sitting in this seat, I'm really not finding too much wrong with the Toyota Tacoma other than the seat itself. So, and fuel economy. I hate the EPA estimates because they never tell you the truth. They just don't. So that is why doing range tests is so important, so you can see what your range will be, what your fuel economy will be if you drive like a real human. I'm driving like a real human here. So we will check back in when I arrive in Chicago, and I will tell you where I landed with my overall fuel economy. But right now, 18.6. All right, we are back in the city, and I'm almost at my destination. But before we do the final check-in on fuel economy, I want to say that this has the 2.4 liter turbocharged engine. So this is not the hybrid, and the combined fuel economy should be around 21 miles per gallon. City fuel economy is 19, and the highway fuel economy is 23 miles per gallon. So in just a couple seconds, I'm going to be arriving at my destination, and we will flip the camera around and close this video out with the final numbers. All right, here we go. I have driven almost 200 miles, and I have 19.3 miles per gallon. I don't think that's great. I'll be honest with you. If the combined fuel economy should be 21 and the highway fuel economy should be 23, this is under that. So I did hit the city fuel economy, but I did very minimal city driving on this leg. I literally, maybe 3 miles of city driving, and I didn't have a lot of stop and go. So coming into the city, the fuel economy did start to go up because highway speeds go down to 55 miles per hour. And so it started to creep up a little bit, but like I said, people don't drive in a vacuum, and most speed limits are not 55, especially if you're taking a road trip on open highways. So yeah, this is it. This is 19.3 miles per gallon. All right, so what do you think? Is that good? Is that bad? 19.3 miles per gallon for the non-hybrid version in mostly highway driving. Comment below. I want to hear what you think. Are you okay with that? Personally, I think it's a little bit low, but that's just me. So comment below. All right, that is all I have for you today with the 2024 Toyota Tacoma. Thanks for watching, and I will see you down the road.